Whenever we first moved here, we chose Eagle because one, they're a home-based company, and we like the fact that we could do television, phone, and internet all together at once.
We have Eagle Communication Internet, which is great because I'm allowed to get on Facebook, MySpace, just like that, which is awesome. I can talk to my boyfriend whenever I want.
I like Eagle Communication because I can watch Cartoon Network channels and I can play on the Roosevelt website whenever I want to.
Eagle Communications, our community connected.
EnerSys is a major employer and paysetter company for the United Way of Ellis County. Each year, EnerSys encourages all their employees to engage in different fundraising events in the community to benefit United Way agencies. Additional community involvement includes food drives for the local food bank, adopt-a-spot cleanup, and participation in numerous local civic organizations. EnerSys, a great place to work, a partner of the community.
The United Way of Ellis County on Eagle Community Television is brought to you by EnerSys, Hayes Med, Insurance Planning Incorporated, and Eagle Communications.
Jason Rao, Executive Director of the United Way, here to bring you another partner agency doing great things in our community, and to remind you that all of this great impact happens because of your donations. It is you that make a difference.
Hi there, my name is Charlotte Lindner with Options Domestic and Sexual Violence Services. I'm the Executive Director, and change starts here. I'd like to tell you about a client that came in, and because of United Way, we were able to help her. This client endured extreme physical, emotional, and psychological abuse of herself and her children. But by receiving services from Options, she was able to get strength herself, she was able to continue education, she was able to put her children and herself as a priority and begin a new life. Without United Way's funding, this could not have happened. We thank you very much, United Way.
Charlotte, thanks for joining us today to tell us all about your great organization. Why don't we start with you tell us about yourself and all of the great things your organization is doing.
Well, thank you very much, Jason. Myself, Charlotte Lindner, worked for the organization in some form for over 30 years. We're currently working to provide domestic and sexual violence services, victim services, for Ellis County and the other 18 counties of Northwest Kansas.
When we look at domestic violence, I suppose the first question is domestic violence really something major in our society?
It is major in our society. The American Medical Association states that over 60% of homes have some sort of domestic violence happening within it. Think about that, 60% of American homes.
And what about the children? Does it impact the children in these homes?
Very much so. In fact, 75% of the girls who grow up in a domestic violence situation are at risk of being in a domestic violence situation as an adult. And the Juvenile Justice Association about 3 years ago had a report that 50% of the boys in juvenile detention were in there due to trying to help their mother.
Now, your agency covers a rather large rural area. Do rural victims have different challenges than, say, their urban counterparts?
Not really. The only extra thing that rural is the isolation factor, but you can also be isolated in a huge community such as Kansas City or Wichita, just for the simple fact that that perpetrator isolates you from being with other people.
I suppose the number one question that everyone asks about domestic violence is, why doesn't the woman just leave? Can you tell us why?
Well, there's a lot of reasons why the perpetrator hits, so let's think about that direction. Why does the perpetrator hit? Instead of blaming the victim for not leaving the situation, why don't we ask the perpetrator, why is he hitting? And excuse me, Jason, I use he only because 95% of violence is men against women.
There's a common thought, I suppose, kind of played up by the media, that domestic violence really only happens in poor homes that have history of drug and alcohol. Is that a fair representation?
Oh, heavens no. It crosses every boundary, age, ethnicity, financial, no.
Your organization also does sexual assault services. And once again, when you think about the media has kind of painted victims as only being these young, attractive girls. Is that really the only people that get victimized by sexual assault?
No, most of the average age for a victim of sexual assault is 24 to 40. There's that age range from 24 to 40. And it doesn't happen in a dark alley. Most sexual assaults happens in the person's home.
You know, and I suppose the media has also kind of portrayed that it also involves how people dress or whether or not they've been drinking. Does any of that really matter?
It doesn't matter. It's all about control of the person. The youngest person in Kansas that has been abused is a 6-month-old child, a baby, and the oldest is a 90-year-old woman.
You know, this is a horrible, horrible crime to happen. Is this something that really happens right here in Ellis County, or is this really a problem for Kansas City and just major areas?
No, sexual assault happens everywhere. The saddest thing about sexual assault is that normally the perpetrator has stalked the victim and knows some of the history of what the victim is going to be doing, and it's all about control.
And you brought up stalking. That's another area that you provide services for clients. And January is National Stalking Awareness Month, so can you tell us a little bit about what stalking is?
Stalking is when that other person is there everywhere you are. It doesn't mean that you just occasionally run into them in the grocery store. It's there every time you go to the grocery store. They're there every time you go to the movie. They're there every time you happen to just be out of your house, maybe going to school or going to work. That's stalking. It's a pattern of someone always being there to try to create a little bit of uneasiness for you.
So if this person that is stalking you hasn't made any violent threats, is it still something you should worry about?
You should still worry about it, and you should still report it if you possibly can. You really can't do anything until something physical happens, but you at least can have a notebook or that this has happened and how many times it's happened, or if you report it to the police, then they've got the history.
Good information. Tell me, do victims have to go through the legal system to get services from you? Do they have to go to police or court or anything first?
Absolutely not. You can call us at 800-794-4624, 24 hours a day.
Wonderful. And is there any charge for coming to use your service?
No charge.
All right. Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you, Jason.
The United Way of Ellis County on Eagle Community Television is brought to you by Intersys, Hayes Med, Insurance Planning Incorporated, and Eagle Communications.
Choosing the right home may take months. Decorating it perfectly may take years. Leaving it every day just takes complete confidence in both your home and auto insurance.
Allied Homeowners and Auto Insurance, a nationwide company, on your side.
See Sue May at Insurance Planning, 3006 Broadway in Hayes. As a major employer and paysetter company, Hayes Med leads the way in United Way support each year. Community involvement for Hayes Med also takes many other forms, from monthly blood screenings to providing free drive-through flu vaccinations to helping citizens be healthier through the Kickstart Weight Loss Program. Hayes Med remains unwavering in support of the local and regional communities it serves. That is one constant on which everyone can rely. Hayes Med, a constant in our community.